In a 2018 interview with Lee Singer, Anne-Marie Jassir was asked, "To what extent do you see filmmaking as your own social duty in the way it can provide cultural visibility or influence cultural dialogue?" Jassir's response, and I quote, "I don't feel filmmaking is a duty, but rather an art form that I am mad about. It is a craft, one that I constantly want to work on and become better at. As a Palestinian, of course, I am drawn to stories of the people I know, but certainly not limited to that. I believe one has to be free in one's work and not feel restricted by anything. There are enough restrictions as a Palestinian, and as a woman, I do not want any more." End quote. Now, I found this to coincide quite well with what Roy Armez identifies as characteristics of contemporary Arab cinema in his book, New Voices in Arab Cinema. Armez explains, I quote, "The filmmaker's approach is as much a product of their own social position as it is of their age. Although their films so often deal with the poor, with downtrodden women, outcast children, and exploited would-be migrants, their own personal situations are very different. They are typically members of a bi- or trilingual elite, often educated at some of the most prestigious universities in the West and trained at the foremost film schools in Europe, the United States, and Russia. Many of them live, by choice or necessity, in exile, although they frequently are totally involved with the issues confronting the modern Arab world, particularly the role and status of women. They must of necessity approach these issues, to some extent at least, as outsiders. Their particular situation, however, allows them to be in the forefront of efforts for change. Indeed, some of the younger women directors from both the Maghreb and the Middle East, who have lived and studied abroad for many years and are not held in check by local censorship or financing, often express in their films attitudes which would have been inconceivable to their mothers' generations." End quote. Now, this is the case for Jassir, seeing as how she was born in Palestine, yet sought out her education here in the States at Columbia University. Her films deal with many of the issues listed by Armez, and her situation, whether that be financial or simply her access to resources, are what allow her to be, in Armez's words, in the forefront of efforts for change.